I have a question. Do you have some tips to sing with confidence and peace? Of course, when you have the study and technique.
Sound check. Check 1, check 2.
One of the key things that leads to a sense of confidence and peace is technique. When I have a new student join me, it's not unusual, and I think this is a great question to ask. What can I expect to gain from, let's say, the first 6 to 12 months of lessons? My number one thing that I always say, the number one thing you can expect to gain is a sense of confidence. That's not purely about performance, though it certainly is a part of it, but it's a sense of confidence in you knowing why you're doing what you're doing. So many singers are stepping onto stage, opening their mouths and hoping for the best. That is not going to engender confidence. When I'm like on a wing and a prayer, I'm hoping everything just goes okay. Whereas when we develop technique and we formulate a really strong knowledge of the voice, we create a really good kinesthetic awareness of our instrument, that is, having a really good body-mind connection, and we intimately know the voice. This is the other thing, is that so many students will say, I just don't feel like I know my own voice. Well, we develop that by spending time with our voice, just like any relationship, right? You develop stronger relationships through time spent with said person, in this case, your voice. And when you do, you gain a sense of confidence. You learn to be able to trust your voice, not only when it's in great condition, but more importantly, when it's not so 100%. That's not to say it's not usable in so much as, I shouldn't sing at all. No, I reckon you should be able to use your voice with a relative sense of it's okay to do so. If it's, it's everything 75%, maybe 70% and above. It's very rare for your voice to be like 95 to 100%. And in fact, if you're a working singer, you know what I'm talking about, right? Your voice, very rarely you step on the stage and your voice is like at its absolute premium. More often than not, you are working with a voice that is okay, it's good, but it's just not great in its best optimal condition. But anything 70, 75% and lower, we're getting into that zone of, going to really have to really manage my voice here today because I'm not well, or it's fatigued to the point of concern. And then when we get down below the 50% mark, maybe we're starting to go, I need to really strongly consider, do I step onto stage? And having spent the time with your voice, having gotten to know it, having developed your technique, that gives you the confidence to know where your voice is at and to really be able to know what you're going to get and know what to expect of your voice. And all of this, really that sense of confidence speaks into that sense of peace, that sense of reducing, that sense of reduced performance anxiety. It's important to reduce that performance anxiety, but not with a sense, let me change that wording, not to reduce it, but to learn to manage it. And when you can get that sense of managing your performance anxiety, that is, it's not escalating beyond your sense of control, then you are able to keep everything in check and remain in that zone of being at peace. And it all it all ties in, doesn't it? You can't just have peace without the confidence, without the technique. And those who might suggest that they do, I think are working within the zone of perhaps being naive, innocently so, ignorantly so. But in doing this singing thing, and if you do it long enough, and if you find yourself working as a singer, you know that those really harder, more challenging times will come. Not might come, or come for other singers. No, they will come for you. And it's good to have done all of that hard work that gets done in the rehearsal space. It's good to have done all of that work at a prior time.